Honestly, my chat loved you guys the most. You guys had an opportunity to make an impression. That's important because like sometimes all you have is the impression. The way you talk, the things you're saying, the way you carry yourself is important. Now, you also have to be authentic. There's hella brand deals I just came with my slides and my toes out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You take me as I am, you feel me? I'm not gonna be any different as a result, but you also have to make sure the brands know that as well because the last thing you wanna be is inauthentic.
Right.
So the 3 brands were Droptix, it was Baze, and it was the Moon Oral Beauty. This is gonna be your example that you send to every brand moving forward. As you have more good examples, your library, your portfolio is gonna get bigger. You know, like anybody, as you train somebody, the likelihood that you get somebody else is higher because you can always reference the last person that you trained. Sometimes people do brand deals and like their priority is just doing the bare minimum. They could feel that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, Bang doesn't pay me any extra or A&P any extra because I drink them all the time. Like, contractually, there's certain things we have to do, but also because I enjoy the product, it's just easy for me to drink it all the time. That love is easier to translate. So let's start with Droptix. So the talking points for this one is focus enhancing. It relieves dryness, redness, and fatigue caused by intense focus. So I guess they're trying to like angle it towards like gamers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the first thing you want to do in this circumstance is you want to think, what's something I could do on stream that I could fit this into that will feel natural, but will also be good content.
Yeah.
Sometimes brands are gonna ask you to do things that is gonna make the content a little worse. We push back on those. Some things are absolutely necessary and other things they're willing to flex on. Let me give you a really good example. We flew to Vegas to promo S25. It would have been very easy for us to just do the S25 COD mobile ad for 2 hours and get off stream. That's bad business. That's the bare minimum. So, okay, how can we sandwich that with other content that has very high appeal? I told Chris to search all over Vegas, thank you, for things that were very interesting to do so that we can make a longer stream out of it, and the Samsung thing would be the one part of it. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm not just doing an ad and getting paid. Now I'm sandwiching good content in there. Especially if you're traveling somewhere, there's gems in every city. For the Samsung thing, we found the pawn shop, the famous pawn shop from the show Pawn Stars. We gotta go there. So we started off with something we knew was gonna give us a good title and thumbnail. Not thumbnail, because it's not YouTube, but you know, we did upload it on YouTube. So Pawn Shop is gonna be in the title, content plan, Pawn Shop. Pawn Shop is gonna bring people in. They're gonna be excited to see the Pawn Shop. We went in there, we shopped, Dylan was there with us, so we're doing it with someone that the chat also knows and loves. And so that brings people in. In between that, we have S25 ad. We made the changes to make it as interesting as possible. We want to retain as much viewership as possible. But then after that, we don't want people to leave once the ad comes in there. So to keep as many people in there as possible, let's do something after. So we found this restaurant where like, if you don't finish the food you order, you get spanked. It's called Heart Attack Grill. But that's a We made the changes to make it as interesting as possible. We want to retain as much viewership as possible. But then after that, we don't want people to leave once the ad comes in there. So to keep as many people in there as possible, let's do something after. So we found this restaurant where like, if you don't finish the food you order, you get spanked. It's called Heart Attack Grill. But that's a gem though. Like you have to research that. So then we went to Heart Attack Grill. So you can hear me as I'm doing the ad. I'm telling chat, like we're going to Heart Attack Grill later. You're not gonna wanna miss it. So now there's an ad, but there's something before to bring people in, something after to keep people there, and there's an ad that we tried our best to optimize. We're getting money, we're doing great content, everybody wins. So that's an example of what you should be trying to do with Droptix, with Baze, and with Moon Oral Beauty. In your own ways. The first thing you have to know is what their expectations are. Some brands, like Droptix for example, they might just want awareness. They want people to know what their product is. Some brands, Baze, maybe they want conversion. Right? Maybe they want people to click the link and go buy the product. So you have to understand what specifically.
Damn. I wonder how long I was muted. Damn. Well, now we gotta be. Let's get back to this. We ain't muted, right?
You could help them deliver
W
that.
Snoop for telling us
they wanted conversion. They wanted people to go to the platform. That was the pocket watching class, and they wanted people to use their trading platform. So I understand that. That's something that I referenced throughout the thing, and I found ways to include it into my lesson that didn't feel like it was taken away from the content. Like it's so much, it's so easy to do brand deals in ways that like are fun. And the thing is once you start to build a portfolio, you'll get more and more fun brand deals. It'll be easy. Once you're doing brand deals with the brands you use anyway, like the clothes you wear anyway, and the events you like to go to anyway, the Rolling Louds, like layups. You're getting paid to, at that point, do what you want. Yeah. That's what we're trying to get to. So in this instance, Corey, you don't have to come up with it instantly, but let's brainstorm like for Dropsticks, how can you see yourself packaging the content to make this as appealing as possible based on like what you like to do?
All right.
And you don't have to rush to an answer because sometimes it takes a lot of brainstorming, but part of it is just like shooting out ideas. One of them is gonna stick.
Well, I know for sure because my training starts so early in the day. I probably try to see like how long I can go without, like how long I can go in the day before my eyes start to kind of like feel draggy. And then I'll probably try to implement the drops before my eyes start dragging. Because my day is like from 4 in the morning all the way to 10 p.m. at nighttime. I just think that it's gonna be very easy for me to kind of like use this throughout the day because my eyes do get tired. And one of these things that it does is it creates focusness once you start using it. So I do think that it'll be more easy for me to kind of use this because my lifestyle is almost a 20-hour day all day long. So like I said, I don't think it's gonna be very hard for me to kind of like show people that using this also increase my visibility and increase my eyesight and increase my endurance as far as, like I say, it take away like the laziness. So once your eyes start getting tired, you do start getting tired. Like once your eyes start getting tired, you feel like it's time for it now. It's time.
You gotta convince me a little more.
Like I say, I don't think it's gonna be hard for me, but I do think I'm gonna have to find innovative ways to kind of like show the eye drops throughout my trainings.
Yeah.
I'm not a gamer.
So let's think packaging, okay?
Okay.
The idea could be fucking phenomenal, but
that's
it's
what
not
always
easy.
matter.
If you can't easily package it, you won't be able to communicate that.
Got it.
So in your circumstance, this my brain immediately went to endurance, marathon. If this is for when your eyes are getting tired, let's get people's eyes tired. Last to leave the gym, okay? Now you got $5,000 to work with.
What?
Okay, you could pocket some of that 5 bands because you're gonna need it. But what if you put 1,000 up for a prize? So now you're putting 1,000 up for a prize, but now it's like, okay, but what are you gonna do in the gym the whole time? What if there's like challenges throughout? Ways to eliminate people. If you're not active enough, like if you don't burn a certain amount of calories per hour, you're eliminated.
Got it.
Like if you can gamify it so that each hour has its own bit of content, you know how easy it's gonna be to sell this?
Right.
Like hour 4, hour 5, man, as they get tired, man, throw a drop tick at it, man. You get what I'm saying? So now you made 4,000 profit. You got 5,000 from the brand. You put 1,000 up as the appeal for the content.
Yeah.
You're promoting your content in a way that's like natural. But that's the packaging, like the idea. Sometimes it's just like looking at what other people are doing. I didn't come up with the idea myself. Mr. Beast said the idea. And Jamal mentioned it, and you had a conversation with Jamal. So now my brain is thinking, maybe that's content you can do with Jamal. So I would shoot that shot. But that's one idea.
That's hard.
And so then all you have to do is take a look at the talking points: fatigue recovery, redness relief, hydration boosting, cooling comfort, irritant protection, and find ways to include some of these talking points. But you notice it say only use a couple. What if you use 5?
Right.
Now you're over-delivering.
Over-delivering. Love that.
And in an endurance stream, you have so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And so you have to feel out the brand. In this instance, I know for a fact they have good budget. So, like you could tell based on the brand. Sometimes just do your research, but like some brands are strapped. They don't have the money, okay? In those instances, just do your best, obviously. But if you know there's an opportunity for more money, why not crush it?
Go crazy.
Why not crush it? So I've done that so many times where I over-delivered, they loved it, and they brought me in for something even crazier next time.
Even just getting them as a repeat brand, like I say, if they can't go over the top with the budget, just getting them as a repeat brand means it matters too. So.
But your avenue is unique too. You're in fitness. So their product is like pretty ideal for like you're a whole avenue of people they can reach out to.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it's just like you just have to create and sell that appeal.
Got it.
Let's talk Moon Oral Beauty. So in this instance here, like they only got like 4 talking points. Okay? So usually when I see that, I think the brand is kind of new to this.
Okay.
Because most of the time they'll come up with a ton of talking points and they'll tell you to pick a couple.
Okay.
But in this instance, there's only a handful of things they even want you to hit.
Right.
First of all, you have great teeth. So like you're a great candidate in this instance for someone that could promote self-care.
Right.
So they're gonna care about things like that. A look,
Yes.
feel me? Some brands, I don't know if Moon is a good example of one, but some brands also want to have a diverse pool of people. So like they want people that look different because it's gonna be all types of people that want to buy the product.
Right.
So they want people that's gonna be able to represent them. So you want to do your best to represent you.
Yeah.
You know, and as people look at you, they're gonna be like, oh snap, like you want people to see you using the product and be like, damn, I think that's necessary for me in my life. Because anything that's optional, any purchase that's optional, like that Dropsticks or Moon Oral Beauty, you have to make it feel like a necessity.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So like obviously oral health is essential. In this instance, their talking points include teeth whitening, toothpaste, and more. It's trusted by professionals, award-winning oral beauty, clinically proven results. One thing I did in my classes that you can borrow is just using a lot of visuals.
Okay.
Visuals help a lot. Like, can you imagine my class if there was no graphs, no numbers, and it was just me yapping? A lot more boring. So try and use visuals. Use the product a lot.
Yep.
Your experience might sell it for you.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
use the product over the course of 1 week, 2 weeks before it's time to do the brand deal. And then you could speak from the heart about like the things you liked about it the most. It's vegan and cruelty-free, which is, I mean, that's a good selling point
Very popular.
Yeah.
in and of itself. And
That's a
it's some
great
places that it
selling
was
point.
featured in. I'm sure your audience probably doesn't care too much about that. So that's like a talking point you can kind of skip. But especially, you don't want no one to think like it's a brand new brand that's been nowhere.
Right.
Because they might be less likely to trust it.
Yeah.
Let's do a brainstorming session here. Like, based on you and your content,
Yeah.
how do you feel like you could help deliver these talking points?
So my first idea was short form because I'm mostly on TikTok. So I was thinking like maybe get ready with me
Okay.
because a lot of people ask me already like what I use. So maybe I could implement that into it. But long form content, I still have to brainstorm on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes like coming up with ideas for certain things is definitely way harder than others. And sometimes it just takes a ton of brainstorming.
Yeah.
Deadass. Like sometimes an idea can seem awful, but if you can be creative enough about it, it can be a banger.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Let me
Facts.
give you an example of something that fell apart that I almost had the opportunity to do. I had a fat fucking brand deal during Streamer University, and I needed 2 people to play the game with. But I thought like, damn, it's not gonna really make much sense for me to play this game during Streamer University. So I'm like, I'm probably gonna say no to it. But then I was like, let's be creative. So I kind of challenged the team to be a little creative, and we came up on something that I thought was fire. And it was something similar to what I'm doing now, but I was like, what if I just give people a percentage of the brand deal and pick 2 students to do it? That's kind of what invented this idea here, but it came from a different brand deal. 2 days before the brand deal fell apart and it didn't happen anymore, I was like, damn, it would have been so wholesome to give away like brand deals to people who've never done one before. But me playing the game made no sense, but it makes perfect sense if I can do it with 2 people who've never done one.
Right.
Right.
Then they can do it with me.
Right.
So it's an idea of a brand that made no sense until it did, and it was like the greatest idea to me. That being said, just because you're dealing with challenges when it comes to the brainstorming and stuff like that, doesn't mean it's not a good idea. Sometimes you just gotta be real creative.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll come back to you. You're right about the TikTok thing, just so you know, most of the time, I guess we negotiated the deal for you, but most of the time you'll negotiate that. You'll tell them like short form is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
So like you can prioritize like maybe doing 2 TikToks and then including it for like an hour as part of your stream or something like that. But packaging is important. Because you're big on TikTok, that helps a lot. You wanna tell them like, I'll do 1 IG story, I'll do 2 TikToks, and I'll do an hour on stream, and that package is gonna give me this rate.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So like the TikTok is very, very essential. Getting your TikTok and your Instagram and even Twitter popping it's like the easy part. You get what I'm saying? The hard part is delivering the talking points on stream and stuff. The easy part is like the short form and the tweets and the IG stories. That's layups. We'll come back to you, so just brainstorm a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Bass. I love how you
Putting
use
the
it
mold,
when you play.
Jay. Putting the
I
mold.
love that, you feel me? Because now that feels natural. So you've been using it, I guess you travel with it when you left Streamer University?
Yeah.
So like, what do you like about it? What are your like, how do you feel about the product?
Okay, honestly, the case, it's like a nice
VM, appreciate you. How you feeling? How you feeling, gang?
It's like clean. It's like so sturdy. Also, the way that it's like separated on the inside, so nothing's touching anything. It's like they have the regular zip border, but they also have like a thick border as well right there. And then it's like your shoes aren't getting on.
Okay,
like,
so
your
she
toys,
got some good
something
talking
like
points
that. Like,
for
it's
it
really easy to
already.
Separate everything. This one, it fit my big ass laptop in it.
What? Laptop?
In there. It has all my chargers, my headphones. Like, it is sturdy, and it fit under the seat, so I didn't even have to worry about like oh, you're gonna have to check your bag. I just like slid it right under it. It's just like super easy.
So it's a
to
carry-on.
That fits under the seat?
Yes, sir.
Ah, shit.
I know,
That's
right?
big, all right.
So
Someone just said, I'm sold.
I'm sold, literally.
That's
W
good. So having
promo.
experience with the product, essential.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because now you can speak about it. Like, people can tell when you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So using this shit helps a lot. Now, sometimes it don't matter that much. Like, we've definitely seen our fair share of brand deals that were hilarious. There was a content group that did an Avatar brand deal that was one of the most funny things ever. And you could tell they did not like the game. That happens sometimes. Sometimes you'll say yes to things and it's not what you thought, or they change things on you last minute. You just do your best in those circumstances. But in this circumstance here, like, having an experience with it makes it so much easier for you to be able to sell it. So
Way
talking points
easier.
here, amazing travel brand. There's a base bag for every occasion, so not just the one you have, but you can reference other bags that they have in their catalog. You can talk about the founder here, Shay Mitchell. The bags are designed to make your everyday easier. So they have like pretty generic talking points. You hit most of them, even in what you just said right there. So part of it is like sometimes they strictly want certain things talked about, but find out if they're flexible. Because it's easier for you to deliver the talking points if they're flexible about how you can deliver them. Like, Webull was really flexible. They were like, there's 2 things you should not do. Aside from that, just use the product and then speak on it. And so the flexibility is not too common. Sometimes they have a bad experience with a content creator and they're like, fuck no, like, I don't want. Now they got PTSD, and the next content creator they deal with awful experience. That's gonna happen, you feel me? But you just don't wanna be that content creator. You wanna be the one that gives them a good experience. You wanna be the first one they think of next time they got a budget that opens up. So reach out. Like, you guys don't know the point person for this? Find out. Who is the person that got this brand deal? Someone did it. You want to meet that person. That's the guy or girl, that's the phone number you should have. Same with Moon.
That's true.
And same with Baze. You want to meet these people. You want to develop relationships. And like, that doesn't mean like spam them or nothing, but just like build rapport. Like, these are people that have the ability to help make you money. Do a good job. Meet these people. All right?
Question.
What's that?
How did your first brand deal go?
Oh my God. I was in uni in my 3rd year. There was this website called FameBit. And it's like
FameBit.
brands would put
That's
up an
old.
item. For me, it was a scale, and they would say the budget, 100 to 250. And you would basically respond to it and say like what you would do to sell it. So I just told them what I would do to sell it. At the time, I was like losing weight and stuff like that. And they just gave me the brand deal. I delivered it. And at the time, I was overdraft. I was buying too many McFlurries. So it was what
Buying too many McFlurries.
It was what helped me get back in the green. So like, I had to just reach out and make my own. Sometimes it comes to you; those are a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But I had to reach out and make my own. So that being said, let's brainstorm for you. Like, based on your content, how do you see yourself like executing on this brand deal?
So for long form, something that I actually did last night was like, I was like, guys, you have something special coming. Let's pack together. And like literally just pack. And I like drew it out for
That's
a while.
smart.
For hours. People were like, what are you packing for? I'm like, I'm packing for DreamCon, and I'm also like gonna take like
You did
a
it.
special trip, and I'm using my base bag that like they gave me at Streamer University.
Yeah, you OC
That's
from
tough.
her coming from the person who was crying on camera to now this. Oh my God, girl, clap it up. Give her a hand clap. Oh, it don't even work. Give her a hand clap. Oh, yep, it don't even work. Fuck, my W's don't even work today. Dude, none of my shit's working. All right, my soundboard don't work right now. It's okay. Let's see. Damn, nope, it ain't working. Damn, that's tough. Give her a hand clap either way.
That's tough. You're going to DreamCon?
Yes, sir.
That's your ad.
Yep.
You're packing to go. Fucking brilliant. Lay. That's so
Yeah,
creative. I
that's
love
a-
that. But
that's a
you see how that's
full
something you was going to do
blown
anyway.
layup.
Yeah.
Now that's content.
Yeah.
So even in the packing, find ways to make the packing interesting now. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like the joke could be that you want to pack everything in there and you want to see what you can make fit. So like you could even get in the details of how like it's gonna go. Like if it's an hour ad segment, like what that hour is gonna look like. I love to over prepare. And then even if I don't use 80% of it, it's better than being stranded and having no idea. I hate that feeling, bro. It's the worst. So even for this stream, like I had like 4 segments I want to do. I'd rather not do 2 of them than do less and be fucking bored on stream. It's so much better to have more than have less. That's genius. And now they're like, oh my God, she's gonna be going to events. We might as well.
So the whole, yeah.
Now you're someone they're gonna want to come back to. So that's really good.
Yeah.
I love that. If you're posting like an IG story or something like that, like just make it feel natural. Like that's not part of the brand deal, but that's over delivering. I mean, dead ass. Like some people are a little more stingy when it comes to that. I get it. Like if you're the #1 streamer in the world, sometimes you don't want to be giving out stuff for free. They're gonna be knocking on your door anyway. But since we're not that, it's better for us to build these relationships. So let's get back to you, Esty. Like, you've had a little bit of time to brainstorm, and you're under no pressure to come up with a banger right now.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
sometimes it do be taking time.
Yeah.
But like, let's figure it out. Like, they have oral care. Like, how can we use that in something that you plan on doing in the next couple weeks to genuinely fit it into your content and promote the brand?
I'm struggling, man. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I would say like
How do you usually brainstorm? Like, what do you usually do?
I like to sit in nature.
Okay.
I like to sit in nature, kind of let it come to me naturally,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah. But I brainstorm usually alone, so yeah, I like that.
Okay, so just get in your brainstorm bag. It's no rush, you feel me? Sometimes they'll give you due dates. Oh, that's the next thing. Be prompt. Back in the day, agent,
Yeah.
I missed every deadline, bro. Every deadline. You couldn't get me to do a brand deal on time. Especially the YouTube brand deals, I fucking
Oh
hated
wow.
those. Oh my God, sending stuff
You be
in,
watching the cop vids? Yeah, I still be fucking with the cop vids.
getting revisions, sending it back, I hated those. But
Which
it makes
copy?
it difficult to work with. You guys have management or not?
Body cam, right?
Once
That's
you do
what I'm
that
talking
and you have management, they stop coming to you with shit. Because like you're fucking up their relationships.
Right.
They're building relationships. They're bringing you
Hell
brands,
yeah,
and
I'll
you
still
can't
be
do shit on
fucking with
time.
those.
They're gonna be like, next time there's an opportunity, they got a roster. Like they're not coming to you, right? Now they're gonna come to you with the bottom of the barrel shit. You don't want the bottom of the barrel. You want the heavy shit. You want the dope shit. So you need
Definitely
management.
gotta be.
That's the next thing. Obviously, negotiating good terms means like having an existing audience. Right now is a good time with the momentum you have to shop your name.
The agency don't have management. Like the agency is not a management company. They just yo.
No, so an agency is more like,
No, you thought the agency like.
no, we just call our community the agency,
Okay,
so that's a little
got it,
confusing.
got it.
But an agency is more like industry connects. If, for example, you wanted to write a book, an agency would be better to help you with that.
Got it.
Like they are more large scope career help. You get what I'm saying? If you wanted to have an event, they would have event people. Like they would have the support. A management company is more like day to day.
Mirror, you got some cop
when I need
vids?
something today. Like those are the people who are more in the weeds. Both of them can bring you brand deals, but usually an agency's supposed to be the one that brings you brand deals, but both of them can do it.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Having both usually is very tough unless you have a lot of leverage because they kind of work against each other. But like if one brings a brand deal, other one's gonna want to cut. Maybe they both had a connection. Sometimes it should be getting messy. But yeah.
So no, I don't want to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
how would you go about getting a manager like?
Reach out. Like so.
Your agency would be perfect. Like I add that on to what you already doing. I don't know how
Yeah.
busy it'll be.
So it
Oh,
just
hell
depends
yeah.
on what you want. So there's boutique agencies that are very
They
selective
definitely
with who
just-
they pick. They don't do
they
that
all
many
over.
brand deals, but the ones they do is like bangers. Like it's stuff that's specific to the type of content you do. There's more like industry brand deals where like you'll sign there and like The Rock is also signed there and like fucking Keanu Reeves is signed there. Sometimes those don't help because if you're a small fish in a big ocean, they're not coming to you. So you want to find somewhere where you'll actually be considered. The only way you find out that information is by asking people who already signed there. Straight up. So I say that's essential, especially if you plan on doing more and more brand deals, and it helps, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, especially the more content you want to do, it's going to cost money, taking flights, hiring people, like even getting items and stuff and events and places booked for stream costs money. So the more money you can generate, the more possibilities you're going to open up for yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, just spend some time brainstorming.
Yeah.
Ask around, ask questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm really confused, I just ask my friends,
Yeah.
what would you do? And they'll give me an answer. If it's something I'm comfortable with, I'll consider. If not, then I'll.
Well, then what would you do?
For Moon, I would do a 24-hour stream, and I would do 30 minutes at night and 30 minutes in the morning if they wanted an hour.
Yeah.
And I would make the thing I did before I slept really interesting so that more people saw the ad. Because like, it's weirder to pull out a toothbrush in the middle of the day.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, but it just take a little bit of creativity. So like, if you don't plan on doing one, maybe that doesn't fit, but that's what I would think. What's up?
I have an idea for you.
Okay.
You could do like, you know how there's just like specific foods and drinks that are like notably stained teeth? You could do something where you like eat those and then you like use it to like prevent.
This girl is
the effects
creative.
Of like the staining effects from those things.
Yeah.
She
I like
is
that could be
going
fun
crazy.
with, like, a stream,
Cook
'cause then you do,
up.
like a mukbang stream, and then at the end you're like, okay, now let's like, yeah. I
Or
feel
you
like
can
that could be fun.
eat like some strong tasting stuff like onions.
Yeah, I
and
feel
then
like that
right
too,
after
yeah.
that, brush your teeth and then blow your breath into my face and see how strong the actual toothpaste is.
Yeah.
And these are things that you could possibly do like one after
Yeah,
another.
these
after another,
W's
like
right
drink
here.
some red fruit punch with stains and then just see how strong and how long lasting it is. So that's like over and over things that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
That's smart. Thank you.
Yeah, I really want to emphasize, like, we're talking about over delivering. Dead ass. Most people would read this for an hour on some boring shit.
Yeah.
So, like, you get what I'm saying? Do you see how it takes a little more effort to be creative?
Yeah.
But it's
Facts.
gonna open doors though. And I think that mindset is like in life is a lot better, bro. So many of the people around me got opportunities just because they over delivered. So that's, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's really all it takes. At that point, it's just like capture the best moments of the brand deal. You're gonna share that later. Next time a brand hits you up, or especially if a management company, they're gonna reference this, like, you didn't see what he did with Drop Taste? Or you didn't see what she did with Bays? Like, damn, boom, easy, Lays. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes saying things helps a lot too. Like, I can say on stream, like, yo, I really wanna get into mixed martial arts. A mixed martial artist could be in here. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I really want to do something with Cinnabon. I don't know. Somebody from Cinnabon might hit me up. Like, I be shooting shots. Like, you never know what can happen, bro.
We're really looking for a manager. Right.
Right. Shoot them
I think,
shots,
yeah,
nigga.
finding that
Y'all
balance
got
between
20K
good
in front of
content
y'all.
and ways to make money is essential.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel like for the eyes,
Mirror-
content creators they don't get
I
paid.
really need a
These
brand
news
deal.
channels don't have viewers, bro.
If you-
And
if you
they make
know-
hundreds
if
of
you know
millions.
some
You
good
get what I'm saying?
brands.
They monetize the shit out their shitty down, that dying audience. They monetize the soul out of it. They spam commercials. The experience sucks. Like, ours is completely different. So if we find cool ways to integrate the shit, like, at that point, bro, it's layups. It's layups. So, and the last thing maybe I want to say is, like, even if the brand is not something you're particularly excited about, finding the line between what you want to sell and what you don't want to sell is important. You get what I'm saying? Like most content creators have been victim to accepting the Raid Shadow Legends deal. The generic, you know, everybody gets them, but it's a bag and it's gonna help you get to where you want.
Right.
It just depends on your circumstance. You know, so I want to say, like, there's no shame in accepting something if you need it in that moment. I don't like shaming people for that because most people would.
Right.
Dead ass. Most people would. And as you get more and more comfortable, now you get picky. You get me? Now you only work with brands that you really fuck with. Now, like, you want your whole portfolio to be bangers and good experiences. And as soon as you get that, I swear it's momentum, bro. As you do stuff that works, more stuff starts coming in your direction. More brands see the stuff you're doing and stuff like that. So this only really happened because they saw my first class. Like, they liked it. So a brand might see what you do here and they might like it. Out of curiosity, like, what brands would you guys love to work with?
Hats, white beater, boxers, you know, gym stuff, you know, shirts, oversized shirts, just stuff that I kind of like already wear on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
For me, I would go fashion, but like if we're thinking big, nigga, I'm thinking cars. Like I
Shoot this nigga, go crazy. Half court, go crazy.
Go crazy.
in a Beamer.
Yeah.
When I'm like,
Car.
man, I was really thinking small. For me, probably Glorious Core and Glassworks. Those are my two.
Say it again.
Glorious Core, which is like very mainstream, and then Glassworks, which is a little bit more underground. But they
You
have,
talking about Glorious, like the mouse?
yeah.
I know their contact. Yeah, because they wanted to do something with me, but they didn't have what I was looking for. But I know their contact. Yeah, I put you in contact.
My
That's the
favorite
mouse
brand.
I use. Yeah, deadass.
It's like
All my
my
mice are
favorite
Glorious.
brand.
Hell yeah.
I have two of them, and I work from home, so I'm just constantly just.
Yeah. I'll put you in contact for sure.
you.
Nah, yeah.
W.
Okay, cool. I
What
want you guys
the
to get in the
fuck?
habit of shooting shots.
Shooting shots.
You might as well, bro. Like, the worst they could say is no.
No,
But
literally.
I think you guys make great content. No cap. I really want to emphasize that. And I've been seeing you guys all over my feed. And and like, you don't have to try and be anybody else. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be loud and eccentric. You can be yourself. You don't have to force content you don't want to do. If you're more comfortable on short form, like, be yourself. Like, you don't have to be super outgoing. If shy could be your body. Like, there's streamers that are massive that are every personality type. So, like, sometimes it's so easy to see, like, what another person's doing and think, like, damn, I got
WVid agent, W game again, nigga.